What's up, everybody? It's your boy J-Rod and welcome to the channel. My name is J-Rod and I do videos on travel, language learning, and life experiences. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and let's get this video started. So today's video, we're going to be talking about the American curse while traveling. Throughout my years of traveling as an American, I noticed that there are certain... Drop my notepad. Throughout my years of traveling as an American, there's just some things that I noticed as an American traveler you're never going to be able to escape. I like to call that the American curse. So I'm going to be highlighting the top 5 things that I felt like stood out to me. Now, I do keep in mind that I do have people from the UK or people from Canada that follow me or any other country, and y'all probably do experience these things too, but this is from an American's perspective because this channel is more geared towards people who are from the United States, but you very well could be from another country and experience some of the same things I'm going to highlight in this video. But real quickly before I start this video, shout out to my subscriber. His name is Esteban. He actually bought me this shirt from his previous trip when he went to the Dominican Republic, and I promised him I'll wear it in my next video. I really do appreciate that, bro, because I don't ask people to do anything for me on this channel. I'm always going to be thankful, whether it be from cameras, t-shirts, cash apps, super chats, but like people even offer me free trips. Like, bro, like I do not deserve any of that. So, and it is reassuring that people do actually connect with my channel, because you know, sometimes I just be out here making videos and it's like, you know, you never know who you could touch or if somebody, they really do like the stuff that you put out there. So that's why I just say, just be yourself. And if you are thinking about doing a channel, you'll find people that they'll just vibe with you. So I do appreciate all the gifts and the things that you guys send me. I really do appreciate that. All right, the first thing on my list is number 1, people assuming that you're rich. This is something that I hate as an American traveler, is that everybody just assumes that you just got this endless money, like a bank account with all these imaginary funds. I like to think in my head I'm a millionaire, but I know my bank account do not reflect that, okay? One day, all right, we're gonna speak that into existence. All right, but no, real talk, I do get kind of annoyed with this, and I've talked about this on multiple videos, is that people just assume that because you're from the United States of America, that just automatically means that you just have tons and tons of money. And the reality is you have different travelers on different ends of the spectrum. You do have some travelers that are extremely wealthy, but then you have others who are like more on a budget. You even have people that do backpacking, okay? Like just throughout my years of travel, I have met so many different types of travelers. Like I met this one girl, she just be traveling the world nonstop, but she literally lives on a budget, you know? And I mean, that stuff adds up when you think about hotels, transportation, food. It's like when you're on a tight budget like that, you really do have to manage your money. And but sometimes people just assume because you're from a particular country, that just automatically means wealth. But I know some people, like, it might take them a whole year to save up before they take a vacation. So you really just can't make that assumption that all Americans are rich. And I be trying to explain that to people sometimes, but people don't understand that. But that is something that can get annoying. Being an American, is people just assuming that because you're traveling, that just means that you just got all this money. But yeah, this can be very annoying and it's never gonna go away, unfortunately. This is just something you're gonna have to deal with. All right, number 2, the second thing I hate about being an American traveler, or just being a foreigner in general, is people playing with your intelligence and always trying to scam you. Now, this one is another one that you cannot avoid. It's just always gonna happen no matter where you're from. Like I said, you don't even technically have to be American to deal with this, but I do notice that people, they do like to play with your intelligence, or they think that you're dumb or you're stupid just because you're not from that culture or you're from the country that you're visiting. And that can be a little bit annoying. I do like to play around with this a little bit, especially in Latin American countries, because I am fluent in Spanish. So sometimes I use that to my advantage to tell, like, if somebody's trying to upcharge me or they're trying to tell me something that I know, you know, is not the normal way of doing things, but just because I'm a foreigner, they kind of want to tweak it and change things a little bit. But this does get kind of annoying sometimes, especially like if you're living in a place. I don't mind so much when I'm on vacation, but when you're living in a place and you're dealing with scams every single day, that stuff does add up over time, and eventually you just want to be treated like the locals. So that is something that I do hate about being an American traveler, or just a foreigner in general, is you're going to deal with people trying to play with your intelligence or just like blatantly scam you. Like there was one country I was in, this one guy, he was trying to charge me $10 for a bottle of water. They felt like I wasn't gonna say anything or notice about it, you know, so that does get annoying. All right, number 3, the third thing I hate about being an American traveler is dealing with so many fake people. As an American, you're gonna deal with a lot of people coming to your face just like being super extra friendly, super nice, but not everybody that approaches you is like really truly your friend. And sometimes as a new person to travel, like if you're brand new to traveling, you might not really understand that in the beginning. You will start to get all this attention because, I mean, let's face it, like a lot of people, they do like America. And the United States is very influential globally. You know, a lot of people, they do love what the United States has to offer. And you will meet a lot of people that do get excited to meet American people. But sometimes you will start to develop superficial friendships, or people just only want to hang out with you because of where you're from, but not because of who you are. And, you know, I be getting DMs from people all the time that be want to link up or they want to hang out. And a lot of times it's really just for show. And I have been in those superficial friendships where you start to really realize that they're only doing it to make themselves feel better because they're friends with a foreigner, but not necessarily because they actually like you as a person. And so as a foreigner, you got to be ready to deal with that. Like a lot of people trying to use you or piggyback off of you for looks or whatever it is, to use you to their benefit essentially. So that can get a little bit annoying. All right, number 4, you become easily targeted. And this kind of ties back into the first point that I was talking about, where people just assume that you're rich. Guys, people really do literally believe that. And that is why when I travel, I try to be low key. Like I don't really be trying to bring too much attention to myself. I'm already a guy that doesn't really like too much attention, but like really when I'm just out in these countries, like I'm not trying to flex and be like wearing 50,000 chains and all this jewelry and stuff. You know, even when I'm vlogging and doing these videos, like I'm very vigilant about what areas I can record in, just because you don't want to bring that much attention to yourself. What people don't understand is that some of the things that you have, depending on the country that you're in, your value could double, triple, sometimes even quadruple, depending on which country you're visiting. A prime example, like just a couple of months ago, one of my friends from Venezuela got robbed at gunpoint for a Motorola flip phone, bro. Not a smartphone, okay, not like one with a touch screen. He had a Motorola flip phone and got robbed. We're not even talking about an expensive phone, but like some of these things that you have, whether it be a watch, whether it be a chain, a camera, those things can increase in value depending on where you go. And like literally your phone could be somebody's next meal ticket or their rent for the next 6 months, like just depending on where you're at. So that's why I always tell people, like when you're traveling, do not try to bring too much attention to yourself, especially as an American, because people already think that you have endless money. Like that stuff literally can get you killed. All right, number 5, I start to develop traveler's guilt. Now what I mean by this is that sometimes when I travel to certain countries, especially the very impoverished countries or neighborhoods, I start to kind of get like this little guilty feeling, almost as if like, how dare this American just walk in here and, you know, these people, they're stuck here. Like this is their life. This is where they're gonna die, essentially. And it's like, how dare I walk in here and then hop back on a plane going back to my country and living this abundant lifestyle that some of these people will never be able to get to experience. And so sometimes I start feeling like this little sense of guilt, but not necessarily like, I know it's not my fault. Like you can't help from where you're from and they can't help for where they're from. But sometimes I feel like as an American, it's like, damn, like I take a lot of stuff for granted. And it wasn't until I started traveling and going into these neighborhoods and to see how people live, it just made me appreciate a lot of stuff I had back at home. So sometimes when I do go into like these poor neighborhoods, I be wanting to try to like help out or do little things that I can do just because, you know, to help play my part. I do sometimes feel bad knowing that some of these people, like, this is gonna be their life forever. Like, they're never gonna be able to escape what they're doing. And so, like, it is a humbling experience when you do get to see that. That's why I encourage people to just travel, and it will really change you because, and I know I'm not really trying to get all like corny and cheesy because I hate corny and cheesy stuff, but like for real, like when you actually go to certain countries and you see how people live, like it is a completely different experience. And so it's a lot of stuff at home that I really take for granted. Like I need to be thankful, you know, for the life that I have. So I guess that could be a good and a bad thing, but definitely like leaving those neighborhoods knowing that some people, this is their life and this is all they're ever gonna know, it can be a little bit sad. All right, number 6, this is just kind of a little bonus one I threw in the last minute. As an American or a foreigner, whatever you want to call it, you definitely do get approached a lot and it's hard to be left alone. And for somebody who does like to be to themselves, people who know me in real life knows that I'm like to myself, like I I'm not antisocial, but like I definitely am to myself for the most part, which is why I do so well as a solo traveler. But it can be a little bit annoying, like if you're just trying to do your thing and you constantly have people approaching you 24/7, and especially when they meet a foreigner, they want to ask you a million questions, and that can get a little bit tiring too, especially like when they start asking deep stuff like, oh my God, what is it like, the police brutality in America? Like I see it on social media. You know, what is the racism like? Why does your president do this? And it's just like, dude, like I don't feel like talking about this, you know, or maybe I'm just tired of talking about it every single time, especially like if I'm in a taxi. This is very common where the driver, they love to ask a lot of questions too, because you're not from there. And obviously y'all are both in the car, so they're gonna like try to open dialogue, and they'll ask the same questions that you answer every single day. And when it's 2 a.m. and you coming back from the club and you're just tired, you want to go home and go to sleep, you really don't feel like trying to talk, or maybe they want to practice their English. Like I've seen that a lot where taxi drivers that they meet in America, they'll automatically want to practice their English. Like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does get kind of tiring after a while. All right, but that is where this video is going to end. These are the top 5 things I hate about being an American traveler, or 6 if you want to include the bonus one. But yeah, these are just things that you're never going to be able to avoid as being an American traveler. I am actually going to do another one. I think I'm going to do a video about the top 5 things I love about being an American traveler. So that one will be coming out pretty soon. Once again, shout out to my boy Esteban for the t-shirt. I really do appreciate it, bro. And leave down in the comment section below anything that you noticed as being a foreigner. You don't necessarily have to be American, but just as a foreigner, things that you deal with that you cannot stand when you're traveling. But yeah, y'all already know what to do. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and catch me in my next video. All right, peace.